Assalamualaikum, my name is Ahmad Ali and I'm a student of biotechnology, batch 16, and today my topic is sodium hydroxide. So first of all, what is sodium hydroxide? Sodium hydroxide is sometimes called caustic soda. We all know it with its common name caustic soda, and it's common ingredient in cleaners and soaps. There is a picture of caustic soda or sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide belongs to the class of inorganic compound and is generally a white odorless substance at room temperature. Liquid sodium hydroxide is colorless and odorless, reacts violently with acid and water. Sodium hydroxide is corrosive. Corrosive for in contact with metals. NaOH can interact with moisture in the air and heat it up as it dissolves. The heat is enough to start a fire if electrical appliances are nearby. So you should be careful about it. It is used as an important ingredient in soap making and household products such as liquid cleaning liquids. Sodium hydroxide is usually solid, pure as white or liquid. History, a little history about sodium hydroxide as how it was discovered or found formed. So sodium hydroxide was first prepared by soap makers, and the process of making sodium hydroxide is mentioned as part of a soap recipe in 13th century Arabic book, which is known as an invention from the various industry arts. It was written by King of Yemen. It was written by Muzaffar Yusuf ibn Umar ibn Ali ibn Rasul. The recipe calls for passing water through a mixture of alkali and quick lime, thus obtaining the sodium hydroxide solution. European soap makers also found this recipe in 1791. French chemist and a surgeon patented a process for the large-scale production of sodium carbonate, a natural soda ash obtained from sodium-rich plant ash where impure sodium carbonate is produced. Some physical properties of sodium hydroxide. Physical property, as we can see in the above picture, it is a white crystalline solid. It is odorless. It is soluble in water, glycerol, and ethyl. When solid sodium hydroxide is mixed with water, it results in a highly exothermic reaction. Has a high viscosity than water. It can form several hydrates. From some of the known hydrates are heptahydrate, pentahydrate, tetrahydrate, dihydrate, and monohydrate. NaOH or caustic soda. It's a monohydrate can form orthorhombic crystal with the space groups. It can readily absorb carbon dioxide and water from the air. It can also exist in form of a liquid. Now we are going to talk about some chemical properties of sodium hydroxide. So it has an ionic bond between Na ion and OH negative ion. It can react with a protic acid to form water and salt. Sodium hydroxide is a proper base that is used for leaching amphoteric hydrates, hydroxides or oxides. There is a covalent bond between oxygen and hydrogen in the hydroxides. As you can see the structure of NaOH. How to make sodium hydroxide preparation techniques. Now we're gonna talk about some of the method to prepare sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is one of the strongest bases available in the most important alkali hydroxide used for the laboratory and commercial purposes. Generally, over the years, sodium hydroxide has been manufactured on a large scale from readily obtainable raw material. It is prepared by electrolysis of brine solution in a diaphragm or mercury cells. Now we are going to discuss some preparation method in length. First of all is the block process. In this, the major product is chlorine, but NaOH is produced as a side product. As you can see, overall equation, and then we get MaNO2 acts as an oxidizing agent, oxidizing HCl to ACl square. In the olden days, preparation of HCl was difficult. It is prepared by NaCl by the addition of strong acid. As you can see, overall the reaction and HCl is oxidized, and then the side product Na2SO4 is used for making other chemicals such as glass or NaOH as follow. As you can see, all the reactions goes as Na2SO4 plus C plus CaSO3 equals to Na3CO3 plus CaSO4. Then reaction goes on and 2NaOH is obtained. Here the starting materials are as and main product are chlorine, as I told you above, but NaOH is produced as a side product. The second method is Weldon's process, which is similar to Leblanc process, but only difference in it that MnO2 is recycled in the Weldon's process, which is not in the above process, Leblanc process. Therefore, Weldon's process is a lot cheaper than Leblanc process. The electrolytic process. In this process, NaOH and Cl2 are produced by electrolysis of a brine solution. The electrolytic cell contains both cathode and anode to be graphite rods, and the electrolyte being NaCl solution. You can see the cell in which the reaction takes place. At anode, chlorine loses 2 electron, and at cathode sodium gains an electron. So 2Na and H2O reacts to form NaOH and a hydrogen gas as a byproduct. Other than the above reaction, some side reaction might also occur as follow. The separation indicates in the diagram can be either asbestos or some plastic material. The sequence of the separation is to separate cathode and anode compartment and to avoid side reactions from occurring. Common uses of sodium hydroxide. So what are common uses of sodium hydroxide? Sodium hydroxide is used in our everyday applications such as for making soap and detergents. Every day you use soap and you use detergent to wash your clothes, and sodium hydroxide is used to make these things. Sodium hydroxide is used for hard bar soaps, while potassium hydroxide is used for liquid soaps as train cleaners and convert pipe clogging fat and grease into soaps, which dissolves in water. For making artificial textile fibers such as rayons. In manufacturing of paper is also made from sodium hydroxide. It is used to make around 56% of sodium hydroxide is produced in industry, is used by industry, 25% of which is used by the paper industry. Decreasing metal, making dyes and bleaches in water treatment plants for pH stabilization to treat bagels and pretzels dough, gives the distinctive shiny finish. We are going to discuss some of its uses in detail. First is chemical pulping. In paper industry, sodium hydroxide is also commonly used in wood pulp or paper or fiber. Besides sodium sulfide, sodium hydroxide is an important ingredient in white liquid used to separate lignin from cellulose fiber in the craft paper process. Bleaching also plays an important role in several later stages of the brown color produced during the pulping process. This stage includes oxygen delifications, oxidative extraction, and simple extraction. All of these requires a strong alkaline environment with pH 10.5 at the end of this stage. Food preparation. Sodium hydroxide is also used in food preparation. Your different food you eat are prepared by sodium hydroxide. Food uses of sodium hydroxide including washing or cleaning, peeling of fruits and vegetables, chocolates, cocoa process, caramel coloring production, poultry and soft drink process, and thickening ice cream. Olives are often soaked in sodium hydroxide for softening. Pretzels and German's olive rolls are glazed with a sodium hydroxide solution before baking to make them crisp. Owing to the difficulty in obtaining food grade sodium hydroxide in a small quantity for home use, sodium carbonate is often used in place of sodium hydroxide. in your daily house. Specific food processed with sodium hydroxide includes German pretzel or pumped in a boiling sodium carbonate solution or cold sodium hydroxide solution before baking, which contributes to their unique crust. Live water is an essential ingredient in the crust of the traditional baked Chinese mooncake, which is very famous in China. Most yellow colored Chinese noodles are made with ice water but are commonly mistaken for containing eggs. One variety of zongzi uses ice water to impart a sweet flavor. It's a sweet in China. Sodium hydroxide causes gelling of egg whites in the production of century eggs. Some method of preparation olives involving subjecting them to ive base bind the Philippine desserts called kutsinta uses a small quantity of ive water to help give the rice flour better a jelly-like consistency. A similar process is used in the kakan known as pitsi pitsi or pichi pichi, except that the mixture uses a grinded keva instead of rice flour. Norwegian dish known as lukefisk. Bagels are often boiled in a ice solution before baking, contributing to their shiny crust. Digestive tissue digestion. In similar fashion, sodium hydroxide is used to digest tissue, as in a process that was used with farm animals at one time. The process involves placing the carcass in a sealed container and then adding a mixture of sodium hydroxide and water. This eventually turns the body into a dark brown liquid with all that is left being bone fragments and can be crushed between the bones in the process. Due to this availability and low cost, it has been used by criminals to dispose of the dead. Italian serial killer Leonard used the drug to turn corpses into soap. A man working for a drug cartel in Mexico admitted to using it to dispose of more than 300 bodies. If a dilute solution is splashed into the skin, burns will occur unless the area is thoroughly rinsed with the running water for several minutes. Splashes into the eyes can be more subtle and can cause blindness. Soap production. I'm gonna explain the whole process how you can make your own soap with sodium hydroxide. So for 250 gram of soap you will need the following ingredients: 32 gram of sodium hydroxide, 125 gram vegetable fat, 25 gram pure olive oil, 55 gram white coconut oil, 100 centimeter cube distilled or rainwater, not tap water, 5 gram essential oil, your choice, or the juice of lemon. You can use juice of lemon instead of essential oils, spatula or glass goggles, and rubber gloves, a cotton house coat or apron, kitchen scales, plastic or glass measuring jug 2 liter, heated resistant glass bowls, heat resistant, 2 plastic tablespoons, thermometers, suitably sized plastic molds, newspaper available from most pharmacies or health food shops. So precaution: you must wear protective rubber gloves and eye protection throughout, as well as the cotton housecoat or apron. You must read and understand all the warning printing on the caustic soda container before you start the experiment. If you get any on your skin, rinse it off quickly. If you get any eyes, wash immediately with cold water and go to hospital. In your mouth, wash it with water until the unpleasant taste has disappeared. Never use aluminium or zinc, they will react with sodium hydroxide. Have a large bowl of clean cold water handy for the event of an accident. Remove all the food drinks from the work area. Keep the kids animals away from the workspace and chemicals. Always work in a ventilated area and avoid working on your own. Procedures. It is recommended to take the first step outdoor. Carefully and slowly add sodium hydroxide to 200 centimeter cube of cold distilled water in a mixing bowl, stirring constantly. Do not add water to the pixel. Do not breathe while doing this. As you continue to stir, the temperature of the sodium solution will increase until all the solids have dissolved. Allow this to cool to 25 degree 45 degrees Celsius. Now add fat, vegetable fat, olive oil, coconut oil, whatever you have. Warm the mixture gently and stir it up until it reaches 45 degrees Celsius. Do not let the temperature of the mixture rise above 50 degrees Celsius. Sodium hydroxide solution and mixture of fat oils are required temperature. Pour the formula slow into the stir thoroughly with 15 minutes with a spoon. Spunification doesn't happen instantly. With some vegetable oil, it takes weeks to complete, but you should see happening after 5 to 10 minutes. Mixture should start to thickening up. The first thing which is called tracing. If you should see the soap that forms float on the top, in other words, it leaves a trace on the surface. The time to take to trace depends upon the particular fat oil you use. Stir the mixture gently for 5 minutes or so, then leave it for 15 minutes before stirring a further 5 minutes, and so on. Until after an hour, the mixture thickens to the consistency of custard. All this must seem like cooking, but there's some serious chemistry going on, so you shouldn't let your guard down. If you want fragrant soap, stir it in essential oil or lemon juice at this stage. Pour your traced mixture into plastic molds and put them in a airing cupboard. Tidy up your work area straightway and truly wash all of the utensils you use in this hot soapy water. After a week or so, your soap should be hard enough to remove it from the molds. Put your rubber glove to do this. At this stage, it will still contain some unreacted sodium hydroxide. To make it safe to use, stand it on newspaper in the open air at room temperature for 2 to 3 weeks, after which sponification would be completed. The longer you leave it, the better your soap will be. Cleaning agent. Sodium hydroxide is also used as a cleaning agent. Sodium hydroxide is frequently used as a detergent and often referred as caustic. It is added to water, heated, and then used to control processing tanks, etc. used to clean. Sodium hydroxide soaking solution is used as a powerful degreasers for stainless steel and glass cookwares. It is a product widely used in the oven cleaning. Sodium hydroxide based laundry detergents are some of the most common laundry detergents. Sodium hydroxide based cleaners include surfactants, rust inhibitors, and deformers. The washing machine sprays high pressure water, sodium hydroxide, and hot water into the dirt for the decreasing treatment with hot water and soap in a closed cabinet. In the early 1990s, the trichloroethane was banned by the Montreal Protocol. Sodium hydroxide was used in the way as a substitute for many other solvents. Washing machine based on water and sodium hydroxide detergents are considered as environmental improvement compared to solvent cleaning methods. Safety. We are gonna see some safety instructions for if you are going to use sodium hydroxide. A chemical burns caused by sodium hydroxide solution photographed 44 hours after exposure. This is a picture of a hand who got exposed to the sodium hydroxide. Like other corrosive acid and base, a few drops of sodium hydroxide solution can break down protein and lipid in tissue through amide hydrolysis and ester hydrolysis, causing chemical burns that can lead to permanent blindness after eye contact. Base material can also show corrosive properties when they are in water, such as water vapors. Therefore, protective equipment such as rubber gloves, protective cloths, and goggles should always be used using this medication or solution. Continue washing for at least 10 to 5 minutes if you get exposed. Sodium hydroxide is corrosive to many metals such as aluminium by reacting with the alkali to produce hydrogen gas. Sodium hydroxide is mildly corrosive to glass, which can cause damage to glazing or cause ground glass joints to bend. Sodium hydroxide is corrosive to several metals like aluminium, which reacts with the alkali to produce flammable hydrogen gas on contact. Storage: how you can store sodium hydroxide or caustic soda. There is a two industrial fiberglass barrels of caustic soda. Carefully handling sodium hydroxide, especially in bulk. When a fire extinguisher is applied, it is recommended to follow any watch instruction correctly and ensure personal environmental safety. It is shipped on containers or large storage tanks with a capacity of 100,000 gallons for use in manufacturing or water wastewater treatment facilities where NaOH is used extensively. Materials that are compatible with the sodium hydroxide and commonly used to store NaOH include polyethylene, carbon steel, stainless steel and glass, fiber reinforced plastic. Since sodium hydroxide absorbs moisture from the air, it should be stored in an airtight container to keep it healthy. Now that's covered my presentation topic. Following all the references from which I get my all of my information. I use Google Scholars to get all the information about it. As you can see, about there are. Thank you very much. Hope you like it and you get some information from my presentation. Allah Hafiz.